What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Cole. I'm a freelance cinematographer and colorist based in Atlanta, Georgia. I've made this video today specifically for those of you who feel stuck in your filmmaking career in a specific niche or role and you want to pivot but you just don't know how. An example of this would be you were stuck doing wedding filmmaking and you want to pivot into commercials, or you're a video editor and you want to pivot into cinematography. This is a very normal thing and it happens to almost everyone in the industry and happened to me as well. It's often very easy to get stuck in a particular niche in this industry because you're often just trying to make money. So you take on jobs that are going to pay the bills, but more often than not, it seems that those jobs are likely the ones that you don't want to do, but they also happen to be the ones that are easy to get and also pay the bills somewhat. An example of this would be something like weddings or real estate. They are often easy to get into and also happen to pay decent money, so many filmmakers take these jobs in order to just make money. Not to throw weddings or real estate under the bus, because you may like doing these jobs, but I'm just using these as an example. The problem with doing this is that the more you do these kinds of videos and other people see that you're doing them, the more you're going to be categorized as the wedding or real estate filmmaker and get even more of those kind of jobs that you don't really even want to do. If you're trying to do that, then it's fantastic, but more often than not, I see a lot of people doing this and unwillingly being categorized as this type of filmmaker. The answer to this, to escape this endless cycle of doing jobs that you don't want to do, is spec work. If you've never heard this term, you may be wondering what spec work is. Spec work is work that you make for free or pay for it yourself, but you have total creative freedom and can also learn new roles or skills. It mainly serves as a portfolio piece or proof that you can make a certain style of video or do a certain role in hopes to get more work from it in the future. Filmmaking is a results-based industry, meaning clients usually will not hire you to do a video unless you've already done this style of video in the past. That's why it becomes so much easier for a client to hire you to make a certain video if you've already done it. It's not a guessing game for them, and they've already seen the proof that you can make it happen. This is why spec work is so important, because you are literally making the proof that you can do it. The classic example of this is a lot of people want to make a Nike commercial, but their portfolio has nothing like this on it, and in fact has a bunch of wedding videos on it. You may be the best cinematographer or director in the world, but if your portfolio does not showcase that you will not be hired to make a Nike video. Spec work is also the answer to raising your rates. Not only does it allow you to switch out of a certain niche that you do not want to be in, but it also allows you to raise your rates because you can create some very high-level spec work that looks super expensive, and then when clients come to you to make the same video for them, you can charge a much higher rate and they will likely pay for it because there's already proof that you can do it. Not only does spec work help with your portfolio, it also helps build your creativity and problem-solving skills. It builds your creativity because you can always make new and creative video ideas that get you out of your comfort zone, and they're much different than videos you've made in the past. Spec work puts you in a creative and safe space for you to experiment with new ideas without clients or money pressure. It also allows you to work with new people that you've never worked with before. Spec work will also build your problem-solving skills tremendously, because often you're going to be trying out something new that you've never done before, like cinematography for example, and you will likely run into problems that you would not have known about if you were just hired to make this video by a client. Running into these problems is super important, because as you run into them in a safe environment when there's no pressure, you can learn from these mistakes and apply them in the future when you have to make a paid version of this video with lots of pressure. Me personally, I was a videographer and editor, and I wanted to transition into being more of a commercial cinematographer, but I felt very stuck and didn't know what to do for the longest time. It wasn't until recently, when I started making a couple of spec projects, that I started to pivot out of that niche and level up my skills. It can be very hard and take a lot of time to pivot out of a particular niche. Usually when you make a spec project, you're not going to see the results instantly, but over time you will get that delayed gratification, and spec work will do the work for you. If you have no idea what kind of spec project to do, the best thing you can do is think to yourself, What do I really want to do, and what niche do I want to transition into? This is the first step because you want to make spec work with intentionality. If you're wanting to get into the fashion world, for example, but then you go make a spec commercial about food, then that's kind of going to be a complete waste of time because you're just going to get more food spec work, and that's not what you want. So first, figure out what role you want to do and what industry you want to pivot into. Once you figure that out, start coming up with concepts for your spec. Usually I'll find inspiration by watching videos on Vimeo or find inspiration on Instagram. I like to find shot inspiration on frameset.com, and no, this is not a sponsored video. Even if it's something that's already been done before, like the concept you're trying to do, it's okay because you can do it as well, but put your own spin on it and you'll get better in the process. I suggest writing a script or a basic outline and then getting on a website to make a storyboard. The website I like to use is Milnote for storyboarding, planning, and really anything for pre-production. Once you have the basic idea and story for your video, you need to find other people to work with. I suggest reaching out to other people around your same skill level or people that have the same goals as you. Once you get your team together and get everyone on the same page, you are ready to make your spec commercial. Hopefully this video helped you learn something and you can level up your portfolio with spec work. I also wanted to mention that if you guys wanted to book a consultation call with me, that is something that I offer, and that is linked down below. If you have more questions and you'd like to talk to me directly, you can do that there. Have a good one, and peace out.